Welcome back to our comeback special. This is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Part 2 with me and my bestest pal in the whole wide world, Josh.
Hey, I'm Jacqueline. Oh, jeez. I'll get it. I'll get it.
So, Chemical Plant Zone, probably the most memorable of all the zones in Sonic 2.
Yeah, I would argue that for the music alone, really.
Yeah, it's the music and maybe a little bit of the aesthetic as well. Another thing from Sonic 2 that has been reused quite a bit in other games, though I wouldn't say quite to the extent of Sonic 1 and Green Hill. Jesus Christ. They reused this one in all but name in Sonic Pocket Adventure, in Generations and Forces, so that's at least 3.
Generations called that Chemical Plant Zone, at least. I mean...
Well, yeah, okay. I should have been a little more clear about that. And no, I did not go for any special... I don't know where any checkpoints are in Act 1. It's a little weird. I guess I go through it way too fast.
Ooh, man, you know it's almost Mean Bean Machine time.
No, that's a few games from now.
Oh.
I'm sorry for breaking your dreams. But hey, since you obviously didn't know before, there's a special extra life secret, man. Yes.
Well, isn't that nifty?
Indeed it is, Josh. Indeed it is. So, something about Sonic 2, I guess I will mention, because Sonic Retro is going to really save me here as far as not being able to come up with things to talk about is concerned. Sega actually originally told STI, the team that made Sonic 2, that it was too soon to make Sonic 2 when they originally asked about 3 months after the release of the first game. And then they changed their minds about 2 months later, and so they lost a whole bunch of development time, which I find amazing because this game turned out pretty alright.
Wait a minute, so they, like, made them not do it for 2 months, but still gave them a release date that was the same release date or something?
Yeah. So, like, oh goodness, I forget what the exact quote was, but they lost 2 months out of, like, what I think was supposed to be an 11-month development cycle. Because Sega originally said, nah, it's too soon after Sonic 1. The world isn't ready for Sonic 2.
Well, just make it and not put it out. Like...
Well, you know, I guess they couldn't do it without the expressed written permission of Sega of Japan and the NFL, obviously.
Can you imagine if the National Football League actually had to sign off on Sonic the Hedgehog games?
Yeah, they obviously in this alternate universe where Madden became a Sega exclusive, like the NFL bought like some percentage of the company, and now now everything has to go through them and the Japanese department.
Yeah.
Why isn't that this universe? That'd be amazing.
Well, because then there'd be a whole lot less Sonic games, I would imagine. The NFL's probably way too busy to sign paperwork.
I don't know. So, for those that might not know or haven't been paying attention, to get to the special stage rings, you have to get 50 rings, and then, I said special stage rings. Well, this isn't Sonic 3. But the checkpoints. To get into special stage, 50 rings, and then you go to the checkpoint and boop. Something that they fixed, in my opinion, was that you don't have to get 50 rings every time when you play as Knuckles, because it saves the amount of rings that you have before you go in. So it's actually a much quicker, nicer process when you play as Knuckles.
Oh yeah, it does wipe your rings when you go in here, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a bit of a bitch, to be honest, and especially when you have a special stage that's like this. In my opinion, number 5 is the most difficult. You know, that can be kind of infuriating. Not
You know what they should have? You know what they should have done?
what should they have done?
They totally should have saved the number of rings you got in the special stage and then brought that back out with you.
You know, that's a good point right there. I like that idea. Let's go back to 1992 and convince them to program the game as such.
There's a lot of things I would do if I could go back to 1992, and only a few of them are savory enough for television.
Oh my. Oh, saucy. Had a very, very close call on the first phase here. Did you see that shit, Josh?
I did see that. You were saying something earlier and I rudely interrupted you.
Oh yeah. This one, as I said before, I consider the most difficult of all the special stages, because the amount of rings that are required and the amount of rings that they give you, you know, they make it like really tight, you know. Going into this is the last bit here. I had 21 rings to get, and look at that, just barely. Just by 3 rings, I got the emerald. I was gonna compare the difficulty. It's not quite, if you remember, Josh, Ice World in Donkey Kong Country difficult, but it's up there. It's not the most wholesome thing.
Is this the first one with 7 as well, emeralds?
Yeah, this is the game that established the amount of emeralds as being 7, and that's something that would carry on throughout most of the series, with seemingly the only exception being Sonic the Fighters.
There were 8 in that one.
Yeah, there were.
Seriously.
I like to go with the assumption that Knuckles' emerald is actually just the Master Emerald, because that's what makes sense, and his emerald is green in that game, so, I mean, you know.
Are there 2 green ones?
I would have to look again, I'm not sure.
Well, either way, there's 6 in Sonic 1, and then there's 7 in almost every other game except for Sonic the Fighters, which leads me to believe that Sonic just lost one in his pants. He doesn't wear pants, but he lost it in his pants.
Well, considering that they can keep the emeralds on their person without wearing clothes anyway, we can just assume that they were, like, stuck in his back spikes or something.
Well, then he would have it on him anyway. They should have shown him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the big break in commentary. I had fucked up the recording, and so there was a bit of space in between, so yeah, sorry. Sorry for that brief bit of silence there. My position is that Sonic holds these emeralds on his person in his back spikes, and he just lost it like that.
You did say that, and then I said that if he had it on his person, it should have shown it.
You know, that's a perfectly reasonable point. I guess this isn't a debate anymore.
Yeah. Hashtag win. Hashtag Charlie Sheen winning.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Yeah.
We've time traveled, ladies and gentlemen, like we talked about earlier, and now we're well, I almost said 6 years ago. I meant 7. I meant 7 because the whole Charlie Sheen thing was 2011. I'm sorry.
Anyway, this is Aquatic Ruin, everybody's favorite Sonic Adventure level.
Oh, indeed, of course. Let's take a dive in Aquatic Ocean.
There doesn't appear to be much aqua in this place so far.
Yeah, this is one where you can like conceivably run throughout the level and you know, not actually touch water. Did you see that bullshit though with that checkpoint? I had 50 rings and then I got the checkpoint, but the stars didn't show up, and what the fuck? And then there's Grounder, who is a dick. Fuck him,
Which
man.
one of them smokes?
The teal one. The teal one smokes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the teal one does not appear in this game. We'd have to play Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine for that, and let me tell you, I'm not good at Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
So, did they build this on top of water? was this just a this is probably like a sacred landmass that existed of some ancient civilization, and here we are completely disrespecting and ruining some of it. I see.
Robotnik touched it first. Let's be honest here. We're just running through what Robotnik built on top of this ancient civilization's sacred lands. Obviously, I don't think there's a canon explanation for it, but let's go with that because it's funny.
Dude, do you remember when they put Mario's face on the fucking Marble Zone?
Now there's a callback for you.
Yeah.
Indeed, I do. You know, it would be great if they had done something along the lines here. Well, I guess not so much, but I guess if you want to technically count it, there is the Death Egg.
My point is that everybody screws with ancient land. Like, they put Mario's face on carvings in the Marble Zone, and here it's just robots everywhere, and it's ridiculous.
You know what? I think I figured it out. This is the Flicky's the Flicky's point of origin in history.
This is their homeland.
Yeah, that's the bird totems and everything.
Well, then where's Flicky Island, or whatever Sonic 3D is?
That's where they moved after the Civil War.
Ah.
Of course. So, yeah. Hope you guys had fun watching this. We'll see you in part 3. Fucking, I can't believe I made that goddamn mistake. I'm too used to doing my own Let's Plays.